Kaushalya Global, while for the rest of the world, the word global means the world, for me the first word Kaushalya means the world. Because that's the name of my mother. And when I started this school in the name of my mother, we wanted to make it unique. So we all put our heads together and decided to add a prefix, the complete school. The idea was to make this an institution from where we can create some brilliant geniuses. And I'm proud to share with you that after 6 or 7 years of really relentless hard work to keep perfecting this institution, we are truly now a complete school. And I'll tell you how. Khalil Gibran says in the book, The Prophet, something very wonderful about parenting. He says your children are not your children. They come through you, but they don't belong to you. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. And it's your awesome responsibility to pass on the torch of civilization to them. Teach them to think, teach them to dream, teach them the joy of sunrise and the thrill of sunset. Teach them the beauty of discovering the unknown. Teach them the difference between flattery and praise. And more than anything else, teach them to hold their head high and walk tall. Manu says something equally brilliant in Grihastha Shastras. Lalayet panchavarsheshu dashavarsheshu dandayet prapteshu shodasha varshe putra mitravat acharet. First 5 years, lalayet, just love your child. He's God. Just love him. Dashavarsheshu dandayet. Next 10 years, discipline him, if necessary with punishment. Give him all the values. Teach him the sense of right and wrong. Give him discipline. And prapteshu shodasha varshe, when the child is 16 years of age, figuratively, when he psychologically matures, then putra mitravat acharet. Treat your child like your friend. Wonderful descriptions of the responsibility of a parent. And we call ourselves the complete school simply because we help the parent to complete his or her responsibility of parenting. I'm going to share with you what we have done in the school over the last 7 years, what we have brought into the school over the last 7 years, and why we call it the complete school. The responsibility of a parent is complete when he has created a genius out of his child. That is the first and foremost responsibility of a parent, where the school should assist him to accomplish this. The first 6 years in the life of a child is simply a golden period, because this is when the hardware and the software of the child is developed. This is the language our new parents understand easily. Hardware is the brain and software is the mind. The Indian model of a genius is a person who has got the highest level of IQ, the highest level of EQ, and the highest level of SQ in appropriate combination. These are the 3 quotients which define a genius. IQ is intelligence quotient. Most of us know that. EQ is emotional quotient, the emotional stability to handle any life situation with calmness, with tranquility, with serenity. And SQ is spiritual quotient, the right values, the spiritual grounding for the child, because IQ is not enough. Only IQ can actually be very destructive if you don't have the right balance of EQ and SQ. And I keep giving this example in my training. Dawood Ibrahim is very intelligent. His IQ is great. Sitting in Karachi, he runs the whole underworld empire here. Hitler was very intelligent. Veerappan was very intelligent. All these people are intelligent. But without the right EQ and without the right SQ, intelligence can be destructive. So a true genius is when you complete the person with right balance of these three quotients. And that is what we aim at doing. And first 6 years, the golden period in trying to accomplish this. Because you can give the highest IQ in the first 6 years, and you can sow the seeds of the best possible EQ and SQ in the first 6 years. That is the golden period. And this is also the period when the child is entirely helpless. The child is completely dependent on the parent and the school, the play school, which takes care of him. Now this is where the role of the parent and the school, preschool, is extremely important. Genius in terms of IQ is a simple arithmetic equation. Genius is equal to talent which is God-given plus brain development to express that talent. God gives some talent, unique talent to every child. And he does not have a Xerox machine. In the whole history of mankind, he has never made two children alike. In the whole future of humanity, he is never going to make two children alike. So he puts something unique in every child. And it is the parent's responsibility, the play school's responsibility to identify what is that unique talent God has given each child. And then do all the right things in the first 6 years to help him develop his brain as fully as he or she can to actualize that talent, to maximize that talent. In identifying the talent, we got into the school 2 years back a technology called as dermatoglyphics multiple intelligence test. There are multiple intelligence in the brain. There is a left hemisphere, there is a right hemisphere, there are 5 clear portions on both the sides, on left side as well as right side. The 5 portions of the left brain are connected to 5 fingers of the right hand. The 5 portions of the right brain are connected to 5 fingers of the left hand. And to the extent God has given a particular talent to a child, to that extent that portion of the brain develops, to that extent the connected fingerprint develops. And this technology gives you the tools to scan the fingerprints of children, analyze this data in the software of the brain to get a report which tells you precisely what is the strength in the child, what is the weakness in the child, and what is the right learning method by which the strength can be actualized, further strengthened, and weakness can be improved. Now this is the starting point, what God has given the child. Then what you do in the next 6 years, which is when 90% of the brain is developing. At birth, brain is 400 grams of weight. At 6 years, brain is 1100 grams of weight. And in adults also, it is hardly 1250 grams. So 90% of brain development happens in the first 6 years. And that is when all the right things have to be done with the child for us to be able to maximize his intelligence quotient. This is the hardware part. We have special technology for that. I went personally to US to study under a great scientist, a legendary scientist, who has spent 75 years of his life trying to develop processes which can actually make every child a genius. And his famous statement is, every child at the moment of birth has a potential much greater than what Leonardo da Vinci ever used in his life. Leonardo da Vinci is the greatest genius in the recorded history of mankind. And he says every child has an inherent potential much greater than what Leonardo da Vinci used ever in his life. And he created specific processes for development of those intelligences. And those are the processes we use. I have been trying to talk to parents for the first 3-4 years of my school's life. I used to have meetings every 2 weeks with the parents in what we called at that time as Kaushalya Knowledge Club, to educate them on what they should do at home to help the school maximize this particular intelligence in the child's brain. And that, when I saw that parents were not able to find that much time to come and share with me, then I created the necessary educational aids. We have created CDs, we have created books, we have created DVDs, we have created dot cards, reading cards, we have created encyclopedic cards, 300, 400 categories, all of which, some of which we teach in the school in that 2.5 hours that the child is with us, but most of which you can take back home and also teach your child at home yourself to support the school in maximizing this intelligence. This is one component, intelligence quotient. The other two components, Emotional quotient and spiritual quotient is a function of his subconscious mind development. Please understand, this is the software part. In the first 6 years of life, the entire psychological blueprint of the child develops. And his reactions and responses to life situations in future will depend upon how he is wired up in these first 6 years. Everything that the parent does in front of the child, whatever the child observes, whatever the child listens, whatever the child does physically, activity-wise, all this, whatever he feels emotionally during the first 6 years, all this goes to build the building blocks of his software. And depending on how his software is wired in the first 6 years, will he react or respond to situations. I always do a simple experiment to drive home this point in my training programs. I will do this with you right now, here. I want you to close your eyes for just 30 seconds. Close your eyes just for 30 seconds, and I will say a word, and you watch the first thought that comes to your mind when you hear that word. Just close your eyes for 30 seconds. My word is money. Money. Watch the first thought that comes to your mind as you hear this word. And now please open your eyes. Now please understand, every one of you has got a thought when you heard the word money, and your thought is unique to you. No other person would get exactly the same thought. Somebody would think money means luxury. Somebody would think money means exotic holidays. Somebody would think money means hard work. Someone else will think money means saving. Someone else will think money means shopping. For somebody else, money means power. Money can mean different things to different people. Because when you heard the word money, you instinctively referred it to your psychological blueprint, your subconscious blueprint of life. That blueprint processes this word and produces a thought. Depending upon what psychological program you have, you will have a different thought. And depending on what thought you get, you will respond to that situation differently. And because we respond differently to the same situations, therefore each one of us gets different results in life. Your results in life are the fruits hanging on the trees, and they are created with the roots of your subconscious blueprint. Depending on how you are wired up at the psychological subconscious level, you will instinctively refer the situation that life gives you. That blueprint will process that situation, it will produce some thoughts, and based on those thoughts you will take the necessary actions, and therefore you will get the results. And because your blueprint is different, your thoughts will be different, and because your thoughts are different, therefore your actions will be different. And this blueprint is created in the first 6 years of child's life. A simple thing like parents fighting in front of the child, arguing hotly in front of the child suddenly develops insecurity, because his whole sense of security is drawn from the harmonious relationship of his parents. And the minute he sees them arguing or fighting, he develops insecurity. Mera kya? What will happen to me now? Who will take care of me? Because these people are fighting. He does not know, in his languaging mechanism of his child's mind, he does not know that these two people are going to again unite after half an hour, smile at each other, make up with each other, and then go for a movie. He simply understands that he is helpless. Every single action that you take in front of the child, the smallest expression you show, the choices you make, the way you carry yourself, the way you handle your health, the way you handle your relationships, the way you handle money, all this is contributing to build his psychological blueprint. And that will decide how we will respond to various life situations in future. There was a great demand from my students and some of the parents in the past to work on relationships. I have been training for the last 17 years all across the world. And tomorrow, 26th of January, in our Banjara Hills school, I'm actually doing my first ever relationship seminar for one day. So those of you who wish to work on your relationships and think there is room for improvement there, or think there are issues which need to be addressed, feel free to join that. There is a registration counter outside. Meet Saujanya, register your name. There is of course a fee charge attached to that. But those of you who wish to do the relationship seminar, please join them one day, and you will know your relationship will go up several notches higher. All that is a part of this school. Not just IQ development, not just EQ development of the child, not just SQ development of the child, but also contributing to the family of the child to create harmonious relationships, to create better thinking attitudes, more better human beings at home, so that all of that can contribute for the child's right development, give him the highest possible IQ, highest possible EQ, highest possible SQ, and thus truly make him a genius. And first 6 years, the golden period when you can do that. Join the school in this effort to make your child a genius. The proudest moment for all of us, coordinators, teachers, maids, drivers, our trustees, me, myself, and all of us associated with Kaushalya would be when we see a genius who has had his roots of development in Kaushalya. That is the dream for which we work together. And that is the dream I want you to join us in actualizing. Thank you so much. God bless you.